Good, perfect. Let's see how this behaves here. Now, I'm not here to trade this after hours, rather just to look at it and to see where this is going to open up tomorrow. So first things, on the daily time frame, this is looking quite good after an extended sell-off. We've been going sideways here for a while. So I'm interested to see if we can maybe get up to 65 over the next days or weeks. And for that, well, it makes sense that we take a look at the earnings action here today. Let me maybe go to a 5-minute time frame, then we can be a bit closer on the ball. I'll also change my candlesticks just to green and red. I know most people prefer that. What's up, Tuco? Welcome, sir. Taking a look here at DocuSign. I marked out 55.2 here as a level that we were seeing from before, but really, like I was saying, this chart looks pretty good. If we can flip some levels like this, for example, back into support and slowly but surely grind our way up, I think actually the next level is going to be up there at 58.75. That seems to be the next important level. And then we would look at 61 and then 64.76. So let's see if they can perform. If this is going to come down, however, I want to just keep an eye on this level here. Well, and as I was saying, that looks that we're in fact coming down. 55.2 level really acting as an important resistance. So let's see what's going on here. A lot of action. That is what we typically see the first 5 to 10 minutes after an earnings sprint. What's up, Farouk? Also joining in with the big candlesticks here. Welcome, sir. Welcome, welcome. Hello there. What's up, sexy Farouk? Actually, I will zoom out here for a second because if this keeps going down, we need to be aware of where this is probably going to find some support. So I'll mark out 47.5. That's going to be the first level that I'll have, and the second one would be 44.2. So I want to be prepared both to the up and to the downside of the important levels. I think that's more important than anything. And let's just see what we're gonna get. So after hours earnings, regardless of whether earnings come in quote positive or negative, a lot can happen both to the up and to the downside. So it's not, oh, the earnings are positive, this is now just going up. It's very typically that it goes both ways, basically. So what is most important here is how these 5-minute candlesticks are going to close. All these wicks doing the damage, but the candle closes are going to basically tell the story more clearly. It's also taking a look actually on another screen at some cryptos. All right, good. And from what I was seeing, this is basically the only thing that is scheduled. If that is going to be a huge wick like this to 49.5, and if that is going to close back above 55.2 here, and we could really see some upside expansion. But like I said, it's important to wait and see at least how these first 5-minute candles close. Welcome, Stussy, as well. Join the show. Welcome, welcome. Let's see, we're live on StreamYard as well. That's good. So this level really is the key, I think, here short term, that we've marked out basically 5 minutes ago. 55.2, these highs here really sending us all the way back down. Now, if we can get above there and start holding that level, like I said, that's probably going to see some upside expansion, and there we go. Like I said, this level here, that would be the next level where I would be looking at some kind of interaction with price. If we get above that, I think 64.7 there is very much in the cards. Not necessarily now after hours, but maybe over the next coming days and so on. I want to quickly actually go to my watch list. Good. See how things close. I think Robinhood also had a very nice day actually today. A little bit of a sell-off at the close, but that is That's all good. As long as we get bought up again, like we've constantly been getting bought up again, then I think our swing there on Robinhood is more than fine. Doku is one thing that is not on my watch list. I will put it on my watch list. Typically, when I do an earnings stream, I do keep this on my radar over the coming days and weeks, building up quite a watch list of things that are on my radar at this point. So let's see. A 5-minute close above 55.2 would be really nice for the bulls. If we're just going to close within this range between 55.2 and 52.35, there's really then we're just chopping around, ranging, and nobody's really getting anywhere. Let me just go on the earnings calendar for today. What else do we have? IoT. So I'll maybe open up, and the way that this candle closed here, by the way, on the 5-minute, that is not at all, right? Very productive for the bulls here, immediate short term now. Looks like we're just really holding this range, big wicks up and beneath and above our range, but the candlestick closure above or below is going to be an important first confirmation for like going further down or further up. I will incorporate the second chart here as well. Let's maybe do it like this and keep DOCU on the top. And I was just taking a look here. It looks like IoT, Samsara Inc. also is having its earnings, and I do want to take a look at this as well. I think that's a good name. Let's see. That's a very nice big move off of the open. Now, this is something that I've actually never charted out, so I would want to see where this is then probably going to. Looks like we're probably going back to sweep these lows here. So I want to mark out basically the bottom of this gap at 28.55 to potentially come back to, and then 29.8 as well. That is immediate short term, maybe gonna come in. So I always want to have an idea where we could come to. This wick here that is still very easy to fill that. So I will actually put this on my watch list as well. IoT. Good. I was keeping an eye on some crypto related stuff as well. So do excuse me, but I'm gonna take a quick glance there at least. All right. Got it. And anything else? So NEO had their earnings this morning, right? Let's see, what did NEO do today? How did that close? 490s doesn't look really very good for that company, does it? If DOCU goes lower here, such a level like 44.2, that's something that I'm going to keep on my radar for potentially playing tomorrow between 10 and 11 a.m. Like I've been saying that for a while now, that is optimal. I'm also going to mark out here for this Samsara thing, that level here at 35.6, or I could even go a little bit higher than that. So let's take it from the swing point here, 35.8. I'm also going to look at that level. So if this thing wants to show me strength, then it's going to have to, at the very least, get above and hold above 35.8, and then build its way up from there somewhere. That is also possible, of course. So let's see, is there anything coming in here? Not immediately on TradingView. Anyways, I think well, I'm always here just for the price action. Huge moves of the open here, and then typically after like half an hour, things dry up, becomes less interesting to follow along. But these big candlesticks are interesting to follow along with. Good. Let's take a look here. IoT, DOCU. Let's see if we can fit in a third thing. So DocuSign is the main one. Then we had Samsara as well. This is something that I was looking at yesterday. Let's do BRZE, Braze. Looks like this is also something that is having its earnings right now. Let's quickly go to a higher time frame. Oh, this is something that's actually up after the close, so we might want to check that out. That is a very nice big move. Let's see on the daily, where are we heading back to? This is probably going back to 44 at this point. Right, not in one straight line, but that's looking pretty good to go back to 44 maybe tomorrow or so. Now, not going to take any positions here because the move is already 12% already happened. But if we can get something like a pullback, I was looking at an earnings stream from Bull later on in the week, and it was very similar, right? Such a big move of the open on a company, and then it pulls back, and later on it finds its way back up there. So continuation play on Braze tomorrow probably or so, or next week. Probably not next week, probably tomorrow, if not already tonight at 44, 43.85. It's probably also in the cards. So I hope that gives some ideas. And these earnings are definitely interesting because it spikes volatility, and then typically later down the line, next day or the next weeks, there is easier moves to get. So that's why I like to keep them on my watch list as well after basically reviewing them on earnings. I have a good idea of the levels that I want to play from. Looks like DocuSign at this point, if it's going to close here below 52.35 on the 5-minute, right? Always important to wait for those closes. Really, if we look at all these closes, there's no candlestick that has closed either above 55.2 or below 52.35. If that is going to happen, I would probably be biased to thinking that they're going to rerun that wick and then probably head down below, below that to 47.5 or to 44.2 there. That's what I would be thinking. Now it can still easily rip back up here and do something like this. So after hours trading is by any means not what is, in my opinion, optimal. Like I said, it's just interesting to see where this is going to open up tomorrow to be prepared already. So I think these three we can monitor along. Braze itself looks like that is not really moving. However, right, well, not really at this point. Those are some significant 1-minute candlesticks. So about 12% on this thing. And it's by no means a penny stock, right? So 12% in 2 minutes, that is definitely something that you see on penny stocks on a daily basis. But this thing is actually trading at $41. So that is quite a significant move. What is up, Dick? Hope you're doing well. We're looking at Doku, Samsara, and Braze here. Hope you're having a good week. Good. Love to hear it, Dick. I already see some people here in the free live stream who I've been with for the past, 12 weeks. It's been a good time. I hope you guys liked it as well. Or just continue to be around. That is, of course, also welcome. Let's see what is the volume here on Braze. That looks like there's almost nothing to be traded. Well, it looks like almost nothing is actually exchanging hands. So one share, 52, 40, 105. Yeah, that's really not significant at all. Actually, the volume was the largest on the smallest candlestick here. This is a very sketchy little thing, but I will keep it on my radar for tomorrow as well. Probably the most amount of volume is going to be found at on DOCU, of course. We can verify. 48,000 shares. That is quite something. That is way more significant than the 198 here on that candlestick. Let's see on DocuSign. All of these stocks are kind of trading within the same kind of price bracket. Let's see. This has 40K. That is actually on Samsara. There was a good amount coming in as well. That's interesting. And this seems to be the most active actually at the moment in terms of still moving. Now everything is already kind of settling down after that first impulse to one side. I want to stay around for another 10 minutes or so and really see if anything drastically is going to change. Just for now, what I see is that DocuSign looks like it's wanting to leave this range that we've been trading in, right? Between this swing point and this swing point now. On such a low volume here, it's already drying up and so on. It wouldn't be uncalled to get back in here and then maybe make a lower high and then go down, something like that. But it's already looking pretty, well, not something that I would be buying into right now. Let me see if I can find maybe one final thing that also seems to have its earnings. We've got IoT, DOCU. Let's take a look at MTN. Vail Resorts. Let's see. This also has its earnings at the moment. Let's zoom out for a second. Seems to be something that has been trading for a very long time already. Let's zoom out. Oh, that's looks like a replica of most charts that are very bullish. Let's see. I will put this on my watch list as well. Vail Resorts. Let me see what is the ticker here again. MTN. Vail Resorts. Okay, good. I can work with that. Have some options around. You never know that something gives an outlier move, right? And I'm really here to pick up the easiest moves, like something like that would be good. I'll zoom in a bit to see where this could hold as well. Do we have anything here of significance that is still an untested order block or fair value gap? Well, and this could really come down quite significantly. I'll mark out just some minor swing points here, maybe from here. Yeah, let's just work with that for a second. To the 5 minute. So this gap down and then got nuked a little bit more. Yeah, this has a lot of room to come back down. This was trading up in the air. I'm gonna basically remove that level and I'm just gonna put it on my watch list. I'm literally just gonna mark out 125. I know that is very far away from current price. However, I mean, I'm not in a rush to trade anything. Like I said, just here for things that would be optimal. And that is definitely a good level to play from. That is a weekly swing point from here. If it gets below that level, then gets back above. I even, like when I'm looking like at a chart like this, I definitely don't want to be a buyer immediately. I'll see. I'll even give some other options here from fair value gaps or swing points. Always just coming to a chart with the idea that you want to buy is not healthy. So I'll see if this wants to come lower down, maybe. Good. What about AMSWA? Let's take a look at that as well. American software. First things first, I have to zoom out of this for a second. To be honest, this does not look like something that I immediately want to buy into, and I'll explain you why to the best of my ability. When I see, for example, something like this, where it's had a low there at $9 and it held at exactly, so $8.99 was the low here, and then we held slightly higher. There's going to be tons of stop losses set between these equal lows here. And I see that we're still trading above $10. Now, this can by all means go up, right? But no, this is not something that I'm interested in, really. Because also, if I'm just looking at this on a weekly and kind of following along what price action has done, this has nuked down, left behind a bearish area here, a value gap, and it's just respected that. It's never gotten back above it, and it's basically grinding lower. So I would very much prepare for downside on this and to potentially revisit set $10 now. I will do one thing. I'll actually post this on my watch list as well. I'll mark out 1237 for me to get bullish on this, right? I have no problem with buying higher. If that means that the chart basically looks better than this. So something like that, holding back above 1237, maybe you get back above and then you come back down and you hold the middle here, and then you grind up. But so far, I would be very careful with that Yoda bomb. I actually don't like it here. If this was a game of smash or pass with quench, then this would get, at least for me, for now, the pass. I will, however, mark out 8.99. Just looking at that chart, it seems to me like a lot of people are going to get hurt with stop losses below $9, thinking that price doesn't get there anymore. Now, if it shows me bullish confirmations around that level, getting below it, then getting back above it, holding a higher low, etc., then yes, then I might be interested. But I think too much liquidity is standing here below these lows, and it's not really proving anything yet. I can be, like I said before, more patient with this, and I don't have any problems buying. Let's see from here. I don't have a problem buying 20% higher if that then means that all of this is a confirmed bottom and that we're still looking at upside to, for example, $16. I'll take that part of the move. So what I'm thinking to myself is if this level gets broken, if we hold it, we can take a look still at $16, which is almost a 30% move, with a stop loss below that shaded gray area, which would be a 10% stop. So that's would almost be a 3-to-1 R. And this is also just a tip that I'll give before jumping off here. This kind of price action where you're constantly finding lower highs and lower lows, this is not what you want to get caught in long. This basically wears you out. It's way more fruitful to wait from lower or to wait for a bullish confirmation and seeing higher highs here and higher lows, then playing the uptrend as it is an uptrend. Now, there's always going to be charts in an uptrend, so don't worry if the chart that you're looking at isn't in an uptrend, and it's your work, your job to find charts that are in an uptrend. And there's plenty of examples of charts that are in an uptrend. Just to come back to Robinhood, that would be one example. DOCU sign here, right after closing that 5 minute below 52.35. We're not really immediately going down lower, but we're definitely also not moving up higher. So this level that I've marked out there at 52.35, you can kind of see how much of an important level that was based on that swing point there. So that really showed us our range, and now we've broke below it. came back to test it, couldn't get back above it, and this is now not looking bullish at all. I'll ask you in the chat not to keep you now. So let me know, Dick, if it's a quick question, I can go over it. If it's something that you want me to elaborate on, then definitely just ask me in the chat. You're always more than free to ask questions. Of course, that's why we're here. That's why you're here. Very much appreciate your contribution to that chat, by the way, with the nice charts and the reaccumulation schemes. I even said to people this week to take an example to that. Not a ticker, no problem. You can ask me. I'll be most certainly around tomorrow, the whole day, during market hours, and probably tonight I'll have a look as well, but tomorrow for sure. American Software, let's see, what is the ticker again? AMSWA. I do want to have that on my watch list as well. Meanwhile, like once again, just scrolling over some crypto related things that I was keeping up with as well. Good. AMSWA is good. Good. Perfect. That leaves us with at least more stocks to look at with interesting levels. And like, if you even just look at this watch list, this is quite a small selection of all stocks and cryptos that are available. But there's so many, you're never forced to trade anything that isn't optimal. So really, don't marry yourself to any ticker and just play a chart for what it is and figure out again things, a system that works based on these candlesticks and these levels, not based on underlying oh, what is this? Like I really like I'll just say it, I really couldn't care less what these companies do. Like they could be in food business, or they could be AI, or they could be selling cigarettes. I really don't think about that when trading. SMCI will go up in the near. I will. It's not an earnings thing, but I will kind of finish off with this SMCI now. My opinion on this, and I would highly, even everybody, go do follow me on Twitter at PTCJ705. But that super SMCI here is something that I've basically made a tweet on and everything way back when it was coming back down to this level. Now I found that level on a higher time frame, or so that was, I believe, the middle of this fair value gap on the monthly, on a weekly time frame, lined up with being this swing point, and that is where we came back to. Now I remember basically not being involved on SMCI at all. So in this whole move up, I had none of that whatsoever. Same thing with Nvidia. But I did play this here. I did get an entry on this candlestick where it got below this level, closed back above. Now, the way that this looks now, right? Because me telling you what I've already done is not really helping you at the moment. I don't really like this thing here. So for me to become bullish on this with the perspective of, okay, this is then ready to run to the all-time high, this would need to get back above 905, flip that level, and not just reject there consecutively. At this point, the way that this is looking to me is I want to be a buyer from lower down, so low 600s, but realistically, this chart has a lot of room to fall down to, and this is something that I believe Shay and Quench touched upon in their stream, and I did very much agree with that in the sense that this could fall down significantly lower. Now, at some point, right, when a chart like this gives a drastic pullback to 406 or God forbid to 354, I am very interested, like very interested. And this is really how I've seen things move over and over again. You hit a top 70% correction. Absolutely nobody believes in it anymore. And then slowly but surely, this thing starts turning around again and starts moving into all-time highs again. So this is not at the moment for me something that I'm now entering. The very, like, again, the best opportunity was here, and that is not talking behind the facts. That's all well documented, at the very least on Twitter. Now, maybe to finish off here with going back to one chart into DOCU for just a couple more minutes, see if they can run this wick. But as I said, this right here is not a bullish candlestick confirmation or pattern, leaving a range and then essentially immediately saying it goodbye. I think that this is probably going back below 50, which is good news, right? Uh, as a bull, you applaud it if price going lower because then the percentage move back up is a, I mean, the way that I see this, right, is not necessarily that, oh, I think the stock is bearish, even though this might be coming down. I'm thinking to myself, well, if I play it from 54.3 back into 47, that might be an easier move back up, 7%. And then if someone wants to run back into this range, and that's 80%. So 18%, sorry. That's how I look at it. So I'm not concerned at all with trying to long here. I know the levels where I want to play from. So that's going to be it for Doku. I will keep these levels on my radar, and tomorrow I'll be taking a look at this in more depth. And also at Robinhood, I hope that we can finally get to our first target there this week, but we'll see. With that being said, though, I'm going to end it here in a minute. I hope that this was informative. So